Where's that? Where's that? On the corner of 21st Street and 5th Avenue. Okay, right. Number 340 on the 8th floor. Yeah, I'll be there, okay? Bye. Every day we communicate with each other about the space we live in. To do this, we need mathematics. It gives us accurate answers to simple questions. Questions like, where am I? In the same way, mathematics lets us describe the space in here, in our imagination. We use it to give dimensions to thoughts and ideas so that what's in here can get out here, where we can see it, talk about it, and share it. Mathematics helps us create entire worlds that seem as real as what we see out the window.
If we modified that, shift its location so that the front row of seats was like off the front edge and lower, we still keep, most of the kinematics, all of the velocities, the full ability to move in 3D space. My interest is in movies as an engulfing, immersive experience where the audience gets to actually enter into the movie, become part of the movie. We're giving the human physiological senses, our ears, our eyes, our bodies, much more information, and that draws us into the movie like a real experience. Barriers between you and what's on the screen are going away.
Doug Trumbull's work can be seen in feature films and theme park rides like Back to the Future. His challenge is to cover a two-dimensional screen with three-dimensional images, images that first come to life in his mind.
We do live in our imagination a lot. We all have dreams every night. I know that even during the day when I'm awake and I'm in reality, my mind sort of goes off into some kind of imaginary space and I sort of see images and they're three-dimensional to me. I see things that may or may not exist. Which leads me through my creative process to where ultimately maybe that will end up in a movie or as a prop or something that didn't exist.
Trumbull relies on mathematics to translate these three-dimensional ideas to a flat screen.
Well, because we're using... this is not actually offset.
In mathematical form, a dream takes on precise dimension, which Trumbull can manipulate.
If we left the vertical axis, the z-axis, the same, and say limited the x and the y to 24 inches, so you still have a full cubic space.
On the ride simulator, seats move only 30 inches in each direction. But when Trumbull links this movement to action on the screen, he creates the illusion of flight.
I have sort of a basic intuitive understanding of mathematics and geometry. Mathematics and numbers are behind everything I do.
Trumbull's production team uses mathematics in countless ways. With it, they design and build scale models that appear vast to the camera's eye. They combine separate images into one seamless picture. They create computer models that look like the real thing. With mathematical precision, each piece fits together to create a believable reality. When the film is complete, the audience is no longer aware of the movie screen, but seems to fly in three-dimensional space. This illusion of depth is based on a mathematical idea that is centuries old. Before artists understood the geometry of perspective, paintings appeared flat and two-dimensional. In the 1400s, Italian painters discovered a way of giving their vision a new dimension.
When the Italians figured out perspective, painting started looking three-dimensional rather than two-dimensional. For me, as an artist, I had this revelation that happened to me when I was in art school, and suddenly I understood perspective. And that was revolutionary to me.
From each of these little dots down here, draw the orthogonals, that's your railroad tracks.
Today, a new generation of students learns to create the illusion of depth on a flat surface.
To your left,
Sam Edgerton teaches the rules of perspective by showing how to draw an imaginary room.
This is a right wall, this is a ceiling, and this is a floor. Can you imagine this now? In other words, this is no longer parallel to you, it is perpendicular to you. Shoot the chute. A long tunnel. But nobody is ever born to draw a picture in perspective, which is why it took so long to finally figure it out. One of the things the students have a hard time is seeing the flat piece of paper and imagining it as being an illusion of space, and that they're penetrating the surface and actually moving their eye into deep space as they draw that diagonal pencil line. This is called the vanishing point in perspective lingo, for the moment VP.
The concept of perspective is focused on an imaginary spot called the vanishing point that's directly opposite the viewer's eye. Through this point, all lines running parallel to the viewer's line of sight must converge. When the rules of perspective are followed, any person can visualize any subject in three dimensions.
Okay. You're following the strict laws of geometry, and you're creating a visual image of something you're not even seeing it except in your mind's eye, but it's very rational and comports very much to what you would really see in nature when you look into the real world. Very good. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, I think your window's fine, except that well, let's get a whole guy.
The rules are simple enough to learn in 1 hour, but Edgerton believes that the discovery of perspective in Florence, Italy, changed the course of Western civilization.
Florence was a medieval city surrounded by a tight wall, and the artist sees these buildings towering up over the walls, and in his mind's eye he puts these all together in a kind of pastiche of marvelous images with no particular geometric organization whatsoever, just a series of visual